so we're back at Army West Point Esports. We're in the cave, we're in the sim center.
Hey, what's up?
This is where we have a lot of computers from us, and I'm here with my guy, Victor.
Hey.
How you doing, Victor?
Good to see you again.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, like you said, I'm Victor. I'm the director of Army West Point Esports, and you're here in the computer-assisted virtual environment, or the cave.
Yes,
Welcome
sir.
back.
You know, you're always making upgrades to your streaming setup, but today, you're taking care of your 5 main competitive rigs.
Yeah, so these are the main rigs that go for competition.
Right.
I think when you designed them, the whole idea was to allow this to be able to happen.
Right. To be honest, like I didn't know for sure, right, back then, how often you were gonna bring us back or how often you were gonna upgrade. So you've been very generous in you know, keeping us busy. So we really appreciate it. So let's talk about the upgrades. You got 5 5080 graphics cards.
So awesome, dude.
So, you know, these just came out like about 30 days ago.
Yeah.
Is there a specific game or a specific workload that's gonna benefit the most from these graphics cards?
Well, the one that we've seen you do a lot of testing at Paradox is going to be Call of Duty. Competitive-wise, we compete in the CCL. If a lot of people don't know, that's a collegiate Call of Duty league. You know, why not get into the solid 200, 300 FPS as much as you can?
Definitely, that's what I'm here to do. You know, we're gonna optimize these PCs again, and that's why we also got these. So we're upgrading the RAM from 32 gig, 6,000 megahertz RAM to 48 gig, 7,200 megahertz of RAM. Going from 32 gigs to 48 gigs. Do you think is there anybody using anything on these computers that would benefit from that?
I don't know. The main titles that we compete in are Overwatch, League of Legends, Valorant, Call of Duty, Apex. You know, a lot of graphics in Apex, especially high-res graphics. Yeah. So we just want to make sure at the scale that we're competing at, we have that reliability that we're looking for.
Of course, man. So we're gonna get right to it. You know, I'm gonna start with one build. I'm gonna test, you know, a build as is, the performance on Call of Duty. And then I'm gonna work on the build, install the GPU, install the RAM, re-optimize it, and we'll see how much of a difference there is. Yeah,
and we're looking forward to it, and we can't wait till they get back from spring break, and we're gonna surprise them with, you know, brand new GPUs.
All right, so we tested every PC to make sure they're performing as intended before we perform the upgrades. So now there should be no excuse. We should see straight performance gain with these new parts. So the first step is I'm gonna take the graphics card out. We do also need to remove these power cords. So this 7900 XT has 2 8-pins. However, the RTX 5080 requires the single male-to-male 12-volt high power cable. It does require me to go into the back of the PC and take those cables out. So this is a bit of a procedure. I'm gonna take these 2 screws out, screws number 2 and 3. Then there's a button on the motherboard to release the graphics card right here, and then pull. Just like that. So again, this is the 7900 XT. I'm not sure what they're gonna do with these, but they're still great graphics cards. And then we gotta take the RAM out. Now we gotta find the old GPU cables. Got the old cables out. 12-volt high power. Just gonna go in the top. Sweet. Now we got our 5080. So here it is. Victor, you gotta check this out.
Let me see.
Oh, I'm nervous. Oh, no. Holy crap, dude, look at this thing.
That's really nice.
That's insane.
This is actually like the same size as the 5090 variant. It's like the same exact shroud as the 5090, yeah. It has a lot of plastic on it. I'll get started on the plastic.
Look at the peels.
Only the Asus cards exclusively give you 5 ports. All the other cards, like MSI, Gigabyte, only give you 4.
Okay. Wow, look at that thing.
What are your first impressions?
Just craftsmanship.
Oh, there it is.
The click.
Perfect click.
I will say there's definitely a weight difference though between this and the 5090. So even though it's like the same length, this feels like half the weight of a 5090.
Oh, wow.
Now we need to put the new RAM in.
Cool. 2 and 4, right?
Yep, always. Ready?
Ready.
Incoming fire hazard in 3.
Oh, look at that.
Yes.
That's nice.
It lights up there too, like that little silver part.
That's a nice tie-in. It's subtle.
Yeah.
Nice little tie-in.
All right, so this PC right here has the new RAM and the RTX 5080. Now here's how much FPS I'm getting at 1440p. So if you look at the benchmark score that we just ran, there's a huge bottleneck on the CPU. Now the 7700X is an amazing processor. You know, it came out about 2 years ago. This is the same processor we used when we first built these PCs, but it is definitely holding this 5080 back. It was holding the AMD graphics card back too in some of the tests, but now it's holding it back even more. The next upgrade for Army West Point would be the processor. So we're pretty much done with, you know, the before and the after. Now we're gonna lock in, install all the RAM and GPUs into the rest of the PCs, and we're good to go. All right, Victor, it is 10 p.m. and I don't even want to tell them why it's 10 p.m. I think the last shot was like 4 p.m.
Yeah.
But you want to just tell everybody why it's 10 p.m. all of a sudden?
Well, first of all, it's a testament to your work ethic. I mean, I think I described it to a friend of mine, like imagine taking a car, really good car, and taking a whole brand new engine and put it in there.
Right.
Other parts of the car are gonna come out and say, hey, I love what you did, but I can't keep up with what's going on. So I think that's what happened today. There's other elements of the motherboard and different things like that that's kind of shown what's capable of, but battling through it, I think we're in a great state. Like we have a brand new, amazing engine.
Yeah.
So we really got to make everything else work.
For the PCs that are working, which is like 3 out of 5, which are working great.
Yeah.
And I think the other 2 we're gonna fix ASAP. We're gonna get those going. How are you feeling about the setup?
I love it. I love it. And especially because it comes down to the players. The players are going to resonate with it, and then we may see better performance.
Army West Point is like maybe 90% finished here. So we're going to finish the other 10% in the coming days. Welcome back to the cave at Army West Point Esports, where you installed 5080s and 7200 megahertz RAM in these builds. So what did we go with this time?
Well, when you first brought in the 5080s, we started to get more understanding about what happens over time. I started to identify different bottlenecks and different things that started to happen in the motherboard, and even coming down to the processor itself. We're here now to get everybody on the same playing field, and you guys have actually brought in your best recommendations for those specs.
Definitely. And what these recommendations are, guys, is the new Ryzen 7 9800X3D. The old processor was the 7700X, but the 9800X 3D is like 2 leagues above the last processor. And you know, just a side note, these motherboards are also getting an upgrade. You know, the old motherboards were B650 motherboards, but these are X870s. It just made sense, you know, if we're going with the 9800X 3D to upgrade the processors. We've seen people have a lot of issues with like these newer processors with the older B650s. So I think it's more so us playing it safe with some appreciative benefits like Thunderbolt 4 in the back, 40 gigabit a second USB-C ports, and just better, you know, bandwidth for the PCIe lanes.
And some, you know, maybe some of the fans are wondering, like power. The original power supply, I think you tested new max wattage that was going to the 5080.
Yeah, it was only like 300.
Yes, absolutely.
And these are 850 watt power supplies. And when we got them, they were the ATX 3.0 power supplies, which is the single rail cable for the 5080. So again, so glad that you kept those cables. So everything's looking great.
Keep your stuff, guys.
Please. So yeah, you know, we have 5 motherboard swaps ahead of us, so we're gonna get right to it, and then we're gonna start testing these PCs. So 2 of the PCs are having issues, right? It's not just about the upgrade, they're having real issues that we need to figure out. This one is currently not booting correctly. So it could be a defective SSD, but it kind of boots correctly when there's only 1 stick of RAM in there. So I think a motherboard swap would actually fix it. We have some extra SSDs, so worst case, I can use one of them to swap the SSD as well. All right, so the motherboard swap is done. We got the CPU, 9800X3D, and the motherboard, the X870E Aorus Elite, all installed, cable managed like a professional. Now it's time to turn this on, make sure this issue is resolved, and then we gotta do this 4 more times, the other 4 PCs.
All right, Jason, welcome to Army West Point Esports.
Thank you so much.
So good to have you here.
Yes.
First time working on our rigs, really appreciate you coming and working on, getting us upgraded for the competitive season.
You're welcome.
But you haven't done lunch.
No, I've not.
So, hey, we have to treat you the Army way and introduce you to the meal ready to eat. This is menus 1 through 12. All the viewers know what we're talking about, all the veterans out there, thank you for your service. So what's cool about the MRE, it gives a soldier anything that they need in regards to calories, hopefully a little bit of flavor, no promises.
Which one do you recommend?
Dude, none. No, I'm saying anyone is like, now imagine this, like you're like straight up starving, dude. Like you're ruck marching, you've done all this training. So it's not gonna matter. You're just gonna be like, oh, it's just food.
Yeah.
So it's all about perspective, really.
Mm-hmm. Tortillas. This is the chicken. Barbecue corn nuggets. Cheese spread. Energy bar. Electrolytes. Fruit punch. Beef stick. Barbecue sauce. Utensils. And the heating pouch. This is all new to me. I don't even know where to start. Not bad.
Not bad, right? Yeah, so it's good enough for the soldier, it's good enough for you. The beef stick. So honestly, if you were like on the move still, that literally can go in your pocket, and like you're still moving, and just take a bite, wrap it up again. Obviously, you probably want something to drink.
Yeah.
All right, guys, so now we are in the computer lab here at Army West Point Esports. You're probably wondering, why are we in the computer lab when these are not computers that we built? Well, this is where the collegiate players from Army West Point Esports will practice when they're not playing their big league matches over on the PCs built by us in the cave. So what they wanted to do, though, is they wanted to upgrade all their SSDs. So we brought 22 terabyte Gen 4 SSDs, and then we had to get like these kind of adapters. These are like PCIe M.2 enclosures, and we put them all in these Dell pre-builds. Now what that means is they wanted to be able to dual boot these systems. So these PCs are not only just dedicated to the students and the esports team, these are also meant for sims and VR stuff and all kinds of things here. It's pretty much just the computer lab for doing work and all that. So you have one SSDs for the computer work and the simulations, and then there's a whole nother SSD that we're installing dedicated to esports. So when a student comes in here, they're gonna basically boot before they turn the computer on, or when they turn the computer on, they're gonna boot to the esports SSD where they'll have all their games and everything installed. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. We're actually just gonna teach them how to do 1 or 2 of them, and then they're gonna install the rest. Obviously our focus was the cave upgrades, but yeah, it's pretty cool. We're working on Dell pre-builds at the Army West Point Esports computer lab. So after a long day of replacing all 5 motherboards and all 5 processors, we are finally done. All 5 PCs are working flawlessly. The 2 PCs having issues from before are totally fixed. Like for example, that one in the power test, it is now pulling the true 350 watts with the 5080. That PC wasn't even booting before. We got that booting, replaced the SSD on that as well. So now we have all 5 PCs featuring the Ryzen 7 9800X3D and the RTX 5080. So these PCs are going to be set for 2 to 3 years of high-end collegiate esports gaming. Especially with the monitors, they're 1440p 270 hertz. Imagine how overkill all that sounds. Well, that's what you can expect here at Army West Point Esports. So after 3 trips between me and Justin, CJ the next time, and now 3 people the third time, is the job done?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. What an amazing job. Like, these things are so ready for the competitive season.
So what are you looking forward to with the upcoming semesters?
You know, we have a new crop of students coming in. We always want to have this connection with the technology. So as soon as they get on the ground, everything here is the top of the line.
Oh yeah.
So I look forward to their initial reaction. You can imagine, like, oh my God.
Yeah, I definitely want to check in with you, when the semester's going on, see how it's going. If you have any questions, we're always around.
Absolutely, yeah. You guys' customer service is fantastic. I love to be able to just be like, yo, man, help. But actually, these guys are much better than they ever were.
Yeah, no, that's good, man. And so, before we leave you guys, we have another project actually in the works.
I'm really excited because this thing's gonna be in front of me. I'm not even gonna like register what I'm seeing.
Guys, we have something incredible coming up. It's an insane build. You guys are gonna love it. So that's gonna be it here. If you like the video, guys, comment, like, and subscribe, and we'll see you guys for more content.
Go Army, beat Navy.
Yes, sir.